Underground rappers that could make a comeback in 2024. Okay, so this is like a list video, and I know you guys like these ones, and this one is kind of like New Year's themed. You know, I was looking at SoFaygo and I was listening to some of his older music, and then I started listening to this song called On the Moon. It was part of his Go Plus EP, and I was listening to some of his like newer leaks recently too, and I was like, you know what, this guy really makes solid music, and I was like, you know, he could really make a comeback, even though I don't know if his window has closed to, you know, make it through like the underground to mainstream pipeline. Like that might have been over for him. Like he's in this weird limbo stage where he's not able to sell big numbers or even like decent numbers for like an album or like pull those numbers, but he's also not underground. Like he can't drop a ton of music and, you know, satisfy his fans in that way. So the only route he can do is just just drop really solid music and come up. And that just got me thinking, like, underground rappers who can make a comeback. And my first one is SoFaygo. So the reason why I said SoFaygo, I already kind of explained it while I was explaining how I came up with the idea. Is SoFaygo. I feel like there are a couple of reasons why I think SoFaygo can come back. Number one, he's on Cactus Jack, and you know, Cactus Jack has made a lot of blunders. I actually have a video coming on my main channel talking about it, but you know, Cactus Jack has Don Toliver, who became huge, and then he's got Sheck West, who, you know, he did fall off, but like still a decently big artist. I feel like Travis Scott, that's still like a huge cosign. Even though signed Cactus Jack has so far just been like a glorified cosign, and Travis Scott has never posted SoFaygo, which is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie, and he even unfollowed him at one point. Cactus Jack, like having that stamp on you is huge, and it doesn't look like Faygo's getting dropped anytime soon, so I feel like Travis will find a way to put him on, and there's a good chance that he does, because like SoFaygo failing just makes him look really bad. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not saying he's gonna do it just to be like, yo, look at me, but you know, SoFaygo was like a young budding star, and then now he's like wasted potential. Everyone's like, yo, this guy fell off, he sold double plastic. I think he sold less than, he didn't hit the Billboard 200, meaning that we don't even know how much he sold. So like he could have sold like 2 or 3k units, which is, those are like smoke perp numbers, those are horrible. But the other reason I think he can come back is he has a type of sound where, like, you know, some rappers, like for example Yeat, right? If Yeat were to try to come up today, it just might not work, you know, or like other artists, like I'm trying to think of some names, like I don't know, just a lot of these underground rappers, the way they come up is they have this window where like their sound is like popping, and you know, SoFaygo, he kind of had that. He had like his little wave, I don't know, he wasn't making like plug and B, but he was hopping on like underground beats and stuff, and he had a cool sound, right? And he had a crazy voice too, but he also fits the mainstream mold really well because he's got like that singing talent or whatever you want to call it, and of course he can rap too. So, you know, his window to blow up is pretty long. He's still very young, and unfortunately it just looks like he's gonna have to just like make it out, you know, making like mainstream-ish music, or at least music that can be accepted by the mainstream. And that's not even horribly, like a terribly bad thing, you know. He does like the R&B. He doesn't make like R&B, but he has like this kind of like R&B-ish feel to some of his music. He can do this like aggressive rap thing. He can sing. He's been bringing back like his old ad-libs too, and you know, he's found like a decent sound. He just needs to get some momentum, and I feel like all it would take is just one song and everyone would be like, yo, Faygo's back, you know. The only thing that I'd say really is hurting him and might hinder his like comeback is, number one, not having like a moment or something to really like capitalize off of and just like hit the gas. Because SoFaygo's biggest mistake was he never hit the iron, or he never struck the iron while it was hot. You know, he was super hot. He didn't drop Pink Tape. Like he dropped some, I'm not gonna lie, like mid project like 2 years after he was signed, and that just destroyed his career. But I feel like if he gets just one song that could go, it doesn't even need to be close to as big as Adding was, or not Adding, I mean as Knock Knock was, but if it just gets something, gets moving, I feel like he could really go far or go further this time, you know what I mean? And there's one last thing that really is tough for him right now, his fan base. SoFaygo's fan base was like shattered to pieces. Like there's not much left of it, I'm not gonna lie. Like I remember way back when, like in 2021, he still had tons of fans, because think about it, he was dropping projects consistently in the underground, and I don't know, those guys all just like disappeared. They're just not, I mean, there's so if you go on his subreddit or you go on Twitter, you'll find a couple of people defending him, because that's usually what they're doing, because he's always getting clowned on. No offense, but you know, there aren't really that many SoFaygo fans anymore. I feel like a lot of this is kind of like a a recycled thing people say, and that's been known. It's just a lot of SoFaygo's fans came from like TikTok and stuff, and they were never really like that big fans of him or just of what he kind of was, like this next up artist from the SoundCloud. And when he fell off, they all just kind of ditched him, and he just doesn't have as strong of a fan base as he used to, or it seemed that he used to. And that definitely, you know, hurts your chances of coming up, you know, because when you drop new music, like your fans are the ones that are always going to check it out first and like get it going. But yeah, that's it really for SoFaygo. He has a lot of potential. It just, can he like go up like that? I think he can, but we'll see. All right, this next artist is another artist that was up during that whole 2020 2021 era in SoundCloud, and also did really well courtesy of TikTok. Not as well, but pretty well. His name is SSG Kobe. Really funny, they actually have a song together where SSG Kobe says, sorry, SSG Kobe doesn't say it, but on their song Okay Let's Go, SoFaygo says, me and Kobe can't fall off, man, we go higher. And that aged horribly. They both fell off. Like, not only fell off, like they fell off, like just off a cliff. It's sad. The reason SSG Kobe fell off is, I'm not gonna lie, like his music was declining and he was deteriorating, but he was still in a really good spot at the time. Like he was gonna drop this album on his major label, and you know that could have been it for him. And you know, he had just dropped a song with Trippie Redd. I forgot the name of the song, but it was pretty decent too. And he had a lot of like, he had some good stuff, you know, like he had a solid discography, and he was one of those artists that was underground and would make songs that were like underground-ish, but he was capable of making music that was for the mainstream audience. And that's why people really messed with SSG Kobe, because he had a huge, like the potential in SSG Kobe was like uncapped. I'm not gonna lie, like if you told me 2 years ago like he had songs with hundreds of millions of streams, I wouldn't even like think it was that crazy. Obviously I would think it was crazy because he would have went far, but like I would have understood, you know, like it totally makes sense. Like, and when he dropped his project actually, let me just jog your memory a little bit. SSG Kobe had this song called Thorax get kind of big on TikTok, and then he also had this Lyrical Lemonade video. He had a couple Lyrical Lemonade videos. He's being managed by this guy named Zach Bia, who's like this cool dude in the industry. He's more than that. He does more than that, but no, he was helping him a lot. Like he was a huge co-sign for Kobe. He was signed to as Zach Bia, I believe, as well. He then dropped his song his album, and it had a lot of potential. It wasn't like something that I really loved. It had a little bit of everything. It had a little bit something for everyone, and it was a decent project. It wasn't anything crazy, but what it showed was that SSG Kobe had a lot of potential. Like you listen to that song again, like, oh, that's a really good song. It's kind of like a weekend-ish song, but it was really good. He then dropped like a couple projects that weren't. He dropped Escape, that song with Trippie Redd, and then he dropped this other random project, and you know, it was kind of declining. The quality wasn't there like that, but I'm not gonna knock him and say he was trash. It just wasn't that good. Like it wasn't hitting. And then those allegations came out that, you know, he did so and so to something to so and so, and we're not gonna get into all of that or whether it's true or not. I have older videos where I talk about it, but it just, I don't know, man. It just like decimated his career. I don't know. He probably had like the worst response to allegations I've ever seen, because like normally when allegations come out about underground rappers, like it doesn't even like they don't even chip a tooth. Like nothing even happens to them. It's crazy. Like it's like they're that guy from the Matrix, and people are like shooting allegations like they're bullets, and they're just like dodging all of them. Not that they're dodging, because you know, kind of fishy what's going on with some of these people, but it just doesn't seem to affect their careers. Like in fact, they get even bigger. For example, there's this guy named Lifeless Garments, and he has like these pretty crazy allegations, but those allegations have been keeping his name trending on Twitter for the past 3 years, and he's gone so big, and his music is, I'll admit, it's pretty good, but he's a weirdo, right? SSG Kobe, of course, he had some very serious allegations, stuff that should be taken seriously, but you know, so do a ton of other underground rappers that nothing ever happened to. It's just the way he responded was so bad. He like went ghost, deleted everything, and then when he finally made an apology like a month later, bro, I think he like apologized to the girl or something. I don't know what he did, but he made like an apology. He went ghost, he deleted everything, and then a month later he did like an apology, or not an apology, a statement on Discord. Like, bro, oh my god, probably like, I don't know who gave him that advice, but just yeah, I don't know, no clue. Just horrible advice. Like I don't know what he was thinking. It was bad. The fallout from that was him getting dropped by his label. He was signed to a major, I believe, meaning he couldn't drop new music, and that was actually the reason why he couldn't drop music. We thought he was going on a hiatus. His label just dropped him. And ever since then, his music quality just hasn't been that good. He made like an Osama Sun clone song too. I was super confused why he did that. Like, bro, if I was him, I would just stick to that like singing sound. And he could rap too, but I would stick to that sound and I would just go crazy. He hasn't been very consistent, and the thing about him is he still has quite a bit of fans. He gets a lot of plays. It just, the quality hasn't been that consistent. He needs to get that back. I feel like he just releases anything. Like, he needs some people around him to be like, yo, this is not that good. Yo, this is good. Drop this, drop that. But hey, I'm not trying to police someone's, situation like that. I think he can make a comeback because he just has so much talent. Like, he's really talented, he has a great voice. Obviously, like I said, he's very consistent, so he has a great work ethic. He just needs a song or two to like go up. The one thing that I would say isn't working in his favor is, like Fago, he has a sound that can be very mainstream, and that's a good thing because that means his window is bigger. But he's hopping on like these underground type beats, and he's trying to like make it back through the underground, and it's just, I don't think it's gonna work anymore because SSG Kobe has been making music forever. Like, he's been making music for so long, but I think this whole underground stuff it's raps for, because I don't know how many people are really gonna listen to like SSG Kobe on an Osama Sun type beat. I'll tell you, not that many people aren't that interested. You know what I mean? And he can't just hop on a new wave anymore. It's been in this too long. I feel like he just gotta go for it at this point, like just make good music that people can enjoy, not try and hop on trends, even if it does sound alright. Like that Osama Sun clone song, I wouldn't say it's a clone song. He just hopped on like an Osama Sun type beat or something. It was decent. The problem with him is he's not signed to Travis Scott like Sofego is. He's on his own. I think he's independent, or he might have a new deal or something. I don't know, but it's not looking that great for him. But he just has enough talent, and he has fans too. So I'd say he could go up. But that's the second one. Okay, there's one last artist who I think can make a comeback, and that's Wyland. And I wouldn't say that he even fell off, because Wyland's fan base is strong. He has a super strong fan base. Like, his fans really rock with him, but he's been so inactive, like so inactive. Like, it just feels like he kind of fell off, you know what I mean, to the point where it's like Vices didn't like do insanely well commercially. Like, he just dropped a project and it was like in a completely different genre than what all of his other music was. And some, obviously his fans, that's kind of like a testament to how strong his fan base was. Like, people were still rocking with him. But at the end of the day, like, you can't drop like one project in like 3 years and expect people to be like super turned on to you as an artist. I feel like Wyland right now is in a super weird spot in his career. I mean, it's not like that weird. I guess if he wanted to drop more or give his fans something, he would do it, but he just has chosen not to. And I wouldn't even say like he's fallen off, actually. I would just say that like his stuff hasn't been up like that, you know what I mean? Like, people have not been, I don't think that many people have been bumping Wyland like that, like his new stuff, Vices. I don't think that many people listen. Like, I liked it a lot. It was actually my first video I ever did, was like a video on Wyland and Vices. Like, it was like a long time ago. But I mean, it's not something that like people are really, I don't think that many people are really coming back to it, if I'm being honest. That's kind of what comes with dropping like a synth pop album, you know what I mean, when you're an underground rapper. So in terms of comeback, I just mean in terms of people really like coming back and rocking with him, and everyone listening to his stuff, because I still think everyone knows who Wyland is, but because he's one of like the OG SoundCloud rappers in his scene. But I just think that if he makes something a bit more, I wouldn't even say like mainstream, just like something that underground fans with a decently open mind can listen to, because like his last album Vices was synth pop, and like that is such a niche album to make. Like, it's such a niche genre. Like, I don't know anyone who listens to synth pop in their free time. Like, the only reason I enjoyed it, or like most people enjoyed it, is because it was Wyland. Like, if it wasn't Wyland, I would have never even given it a chance, and neither would have any of these other people. So I just think all Wyland needs to do is just make something that's more universally like messed with. I'm not saying like dumb down your music. Just synth pop is crazy, I'm not gonna lie, but and what sucks is there's even this thing called Vices V1, which is just like older songs that were teased for Vices, his last album, that just didn't come out, and some of them were crazy. Like, they were so hard, and he just never dropped any of them, which is a bummer. But yeah, I know this last one is a bit short, but I just wanted to include him. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and see you tomorrow.